everybody? It's Monday. I'm here with my partner and host, Dragon Scaling, and I'm his partner and host, Mr. Solutions. And it's the Wayfarer's Guide. It's the World and Life
It's the
Building,
Monday.
World and Life Skill Building Show. Wayfarer's Guide. I just made up a theme song for us just now, right here on the air, live with you guys. Stupid. It's early as 8 o'clock
Musical
in the morning, my
production,
time.
life skills. Musical production, life skills, and game mechanics. Let's ride on this Wayfarers, guys.
That's right.
Do
That's
this.
right. It's Wayfarer's Guide. Let's do it. My eyes are bloodshot red this morning. I look exhausted. I got bags and my face is all heavy in the cheeks and stuff. I look tired today. Wait, hold on. If I'm going to do it. The best part of waking up is Wayfarer's
Don't forget,
Dinner
guys.
Cup.
Don't forget, guys, if you too want to have a cool Wayfarers mug, you can go down below on my page or Mr. Solutions page and click those panel links. You can go right to our merch store, and you can get everything that Soul Monkey Publications has got out right now for all of their shows.
I got
some very cool artwork.
I got some new stuff coming out, so I got some new clothes. I've been designing clothes for the last 4 days.
Nice.
Actually, y'all want to see the clothes I've been designing for the last 4 days?
Of course. Okay. Premiere drops. Let's see them.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me go and open up some things and make some things happen.
You're seeing it here first, guys. We got behind the scenes with Soul Monkey Publications' new clothing line.
Yeah. So we wanted to go to a EDM show in November, right? And like me, my wife, her brother, and we actually
I want to go.
It's Deadmau5, so you probably do want to go. But we never been to an EDM show before, and we want to go to see Deadmau5. And it occurred to me I didn't have any clothes to wear to Deadmau5. I was like, well, I'm not going to buy clothes because I own my own company, which has logos and stuff. So I'm just going to put that on, I'm going to make my own EDM show clothes, right? So what started as making my own EDM show clothes has turned into, like, just designing a whole fall line for clothing. So
nice.
Yeah. Like, this is an old basic tee that I put together. But here we got a little bit of a cooler tee.
Right. Oh yeah, I like that. With the mirror back. Oh, yeah. Look at you and your Denver skyline.
So hold on, because this progresses until it arrives to that, which I freaking love. So this is the back of the shirt. This is the front of the shirt.
And I mean, I like it. I miss the rest of the face when it's way over there.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but I see the God rays coming out. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. It's like the moon is like, I don't know. It's dope. I don't know. I like it.
Except the rays on the back should be the opposite direction.
Probably should be. That just got tossed in there. So these were like the original pants I thought of when I was like, I wanted to go to Deadmau5 and make clothes.
Are they gonna be fuzzy?
They're sweats.
Well, but are they gonna be fuzzy though?
I don't know if I find fuzzy sweats.
Man, they should be fuzzy. You know what I mean? Like the fuzzy, like woolly kind of like carpety. Oh snap! They come in white.
They do. It says Solutions down the side, but I don't like that.
I was like,
go with that.
Yeah, I was like, that is not. That is contrasted as all get out. Oh, I like the pink.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Pink. Yeah, right.
Can we get that in a men's size?
Yeah, we do have that in men's shirts, actually.
Awesome. I like all of those.
Right? Fucking dope, huh? I'm working on this.
All snap.
Right, working on that.
That's a sweet hoodie. Dude, these are not going to be cheap, are they?
No, they're not.
Yeah, these are
at all.
Mm-mm.
No, these
are. I was looking at the hoodie. I was like, "Oh, that's going to be like $60."
These are not center point fucking prints. Like here, we just transfer now.
Oh, I like that.
I was designing some mugs. See, men's sizes these shirts.
Oh, I like that too. That's a negative.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
These are dope. I like these a lot. Okay, so this one is cool. Wait. This one is cool, but this one is cooler.
I don't know. I kind of like the single logo up on the top.
You like
that's slick.
Well, both can be done, clean. Right? You know what I'm saying?
No, that's super clean.
This hoodie,
I might put that shadow on the back of the shirt and the face on the front.
Oh yeah, okay,
by itself. Like that might, man, that's tight.
Like this hoodie right here is one of the things I designed for the show too.
Mm-hmm.
With these pants. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Like all of that. Oh, step.
To go with the pants, right?
I don't know if I could wear a whole outfit like that. Like I could do the top or the bottom, but I don't think I could do both.
Right. All right, so
dude, that green and purple, the Soul Monkey face, it's that definitely reminds me of a Hulk outfit.
Oh yeah.
So it's got mad Hulk vibes. Those are nice.
With these hoodies.
Yep. Oh, that's nice. Shirt. I like that. Yeah. I like that SOul-Lutions logo with the fiery thing on it. Like that's tight.
Yeah, that's the actual company logo. But yeah, that's the clothes I designed over the last 3 days. That's what I've been doing.
Well, dang.
A lot of the skills that we taught you early on in this show, you can use to do these clothes. So, that.
Yeah, because you used the same graphic studio that we were using for the background art and the channel arts and all that.
Yeah. I used both
build those
to do this.
Yeah. There you go, guys. If you want to look back and find our earlier episodes and check out how to use those, you can. The links are probably both on our video productions and on the YouTube channel for SOul-Lutions.
Surely. Yeah, so I'm waiting for my printer to approve them because they're kind of complicated. And yes, you're right. They're going to be expensive.
Yeah, those are not cheap designs for sure.
But they'll be a print to order, so they won't be sitting around in like a warehouse or whatever, or my house or basement or nothing. So
yes, that's what's up.
Yeah, they'll be print to order direct with my printer. So I have a printer that I work with here locally, and they'll be doing all the work for us. Yeah.
Yay! New clothing line. I love it.
Line. Hopefully we'll have the store up on the site, on the Soul Monkey publication site here soon. And we'll be selling clothes direct out of that. And booyah.
So keep checking back on that Soul Monkey publication panel down below, guys. You'll see some new merch dropping soon in the new store site.
Oh yeah, no, we'll be moving away from honestly, one of the reasons why I haven't been talking about the Stream Element store so much.
I mean, I can change the panel location as soon as the store drops.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm definitely
just keep checking back with the panel down below here on my page. When the new store opens, that panel will be reset to the new store.
Same thing
and all the new clothing lines will be out there.
But while we do have some stuff in the Stream Element store, and if you pick it up, that would be awesome. Really, I've been kind of moving away from advertising that because I knew I was in bed with this Print King is the name of the company, Print King 303, and I knew that I'd be working with them. So I was like, let me just start, designing my own better designs. Because really, so like I was real disappointed with the Stream Element stuff to begin with because it really was just, put your logo right here in the center.
Well, it's very limited.
Yes,
it is. Limited. But for a starter store, it's it does okay.
For a starter store, it does great, right? But my brain, I don't do small. And
no, you do like 15 layers deep, and you build a whole monopoly around a thing.
Yeah, I know. Stream Elements just wasn't really tickling the kitty for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't. Like, the shirts was real boring. It was nice to have them. Like, it was real dope to have the shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, some of them look clean, dude. Like your Comic Clash and the Wayfarer's Guide shirts both look super clean, even as a center print.
But can you imagine what I could do with the Comic Cinema Clash logo now? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about Wayfarer's Guide stuff too, with
yeah,
the characters all separated and the logos in different places,
yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. Like we've talked about tons of that stuff,
Right. So now I can like really make dope shirts for all the shows and stuff.
and actually get the ideas that you want to get presented.
Yeah, because one, I like big, and two, I like expensive.
I
Like,
mean,
if you gotta pay, look, if you gotta pay like $45 for a shirt for me, $50 for a shirt for me, I want you to realize why you had to pay that much. Like, there's gonna be, you
it's
know,
quality.
it's
It's
gonna be
definitely the quality,
right. It's
guys.
gonna be quality, and it's gonna be like, it'll be obvious in the amount of graphic that is on it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing worse. You pay like 50, $60 for a shirt. You got a little logo on it like this big. Well, what did you put into that shirt that made it $60? Right? Like, if my clothes is plastered in logo and graphic,
Overhead fees.
right? That's where the money went. Was
Overhead fees.
I guess, man. Yo, they be killing the game. What shirt are you wearing today?
I'm wearing Avatar.
Avatar. That's Momo and Appa.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could have.
Momo and Appa.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Yeah,
on an
yeah.
adventure.
Momo and Appa. I love that.
Me too.
But yeah,
I got it from FYE. It was nice.
that
On
is
sale.
nice. You rock that acquisition. You rock that acquisition. I built Chip City.
It was a fun day. It was a fun day. My kids and I went out to the mall and hung out. We're gonna do that later this afternoon for a couple hours.
Sweet.
I
No,
might just drop my oldest off, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm kind of lethargic this morning, partner.
I'm having trouble shaking my pillow rust. I'll tell you what.
Pillow rust. That and,
I would say ring rust, but that implies that I was fighting in my bed, and that's not how it was.
right.
Yeah.
I got 40 something odd years under me. I never heard pillow rust before. That's good.
I just made it up, coined that phrase.
I'm gonna fucking put that on the t-shirt.
That's
Yeah, check off the pillow rust.
oh
That is
man.
next though. Witty things that I say on t-shirts.
Oh, we need to have a funny line of everything. Like we
Oh
come up
yeah.
with all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. Now I'm about to fill my store with merch, like the merch I imagine.
Well, it looks like you got a good start on it for sure. I have not figured out what all I want to do for merch for me. I know I want like mouse pads and dice bags and coffee mugs and t-shirts and stuff. I know I want all that, little notebooks, things like that.
You should
But I
send
don't.
me your Spawn or Die Entertainment. That's yours, right?
Nope.
Like,
Spondi is the group that I'm in. I'm an admin for them.
okay. Well,
We Spondi has been is a really strange place, and we love it that way.
it's too strange
It's
for me.
it is. It's a special kind of place. It's a bunch of really cool guys that just are together. We all started off the core group started off in Sleepy Joe's Discord, and then that closed, and we went to Chiltronic's Discord, and that closed for a while. And we put this Spawn Die together. We had the thing out already, and when all the other Discords that we were in died off, we all just kind of conglomerated in this one space because we didn't want to lose touch. And it just kind of blew up that way. And when the TikToks took off, we started gaining members left and right, and we just kind of been there.
I'd never know what's going on in that group.
There is no way to tell what's going on. There's too many things going on all at once for us to be completely organized, and there's always just splinter factions of a bunch of people doing a bunch of different things. It's our little organization to hang out in and talk shit.
I'm too far out.
It's basically what we do all day. Yeah, it's basically what we do all day. Is we play games, we talk shit at each other, we make fun of everybody. We don't care.
I'm too far out the loop on the Spawn Die Spawn Day room. But you guys have at the it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
We do. It's there for fun, man.
First edit of my book got done a couple weeks back too. I didn't mention that on the show. right? No.
Which one? Which book?
Cross-Sword Lovers.
Okay, because I know you got like 5 stories going on.
Well, okay, I only have one actual novel.
Right, but you got things that are always in the works. So I wanted to make sure which project we're talking about.
No, we're talking about the actual book. We're talking about Cross-Sword Lovers. Everything else besides for the project we're working on together, the collapse, everything else is pretty much a graphic novel. Right now, I do have like 20 different graphic novels that I have written, but will go nowhere because I have no, massive art team right now. But I'll fix that one day. Yeah, I wrote a book like 2.5 years ago. I had sent it to one editor and it didn't get edited. And I was really trying to take it off of this editor's plate because she does all the other editing for everything. But the first editor didn't get it done, so I gave it back to the second editor. She knocked it out in like, I don't know, probably 6 months. And yeah, the book is through its first draft edit.
Which everybody hears 6 months and like, wow, that seems to have taken a long time. But keep in mind that the editor works on everything else in the company.
Yes.
And is doing her own stuff on the side and has a job and a life and a family. And
yeah,
so
like she's
6 months is a good turnaround
she
for the plate full.
Yeah, she killed it. And honestly, I wrote the book in 8 months. To be real with you, like it took me with no distractions. I wasn't really dealing with my wife at the time, and I wasn't dating nobody at the time.
I can't even imagine a life with no distractions in it. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, the only thing I was doing was I was working full time at the time, but the kids were grown, no wife, no girlfriend, nothing. It took me 8 months straight to write the book. Like I sat down every day and wrote like at least a chapter or so.
Man, the skill set needed to buckle down that hard is tremendous.
Is it a skill set, do you think?
Man, look, the ability to focus like that is a skill or a talent, one or the other. I don't know.
I think it's more a talent than a skill.
Okay.
Maybe it's a little
I don't know.
Okay.
Can you teach it to somebody?
No. So Chris Paul will tell you Chris Paul will tell you it comes from my childhood. Right? And it does, right? My mother literally.
Well, you can teach it to somebody. You just have to start early.
You just have to start early. I can't teach it to an adult, right? Like if you already have the bad behaviors that go with not having the ability to focus on a task, then I can't teach that to you as an adult. You're already fucked off. I can teach it to a child. Like I taught it to my children.
Well, because they saw you do it.
Well. Because there's a way to raise kids to increase focus and aptitude and productivity and all these things. Like my son has laser fucking focus.
Yeah, my kids are only focused on the things they want to be. Now their aptitude is plenty high. They're super smart. They're crazy smart. But they share my lack of focus ability. Like they're doing what they want to do or they're not doing anything.
I wasn't allowed to not finish tasks when I was a child. From schoolwork to even play, right? Oh, you think you're just going to quit playing that game because you're upset or whatever, or you're losing or whatever, right? Like quitting was not an option in my house, and neither was taking a long time to do it. You know what I mean? Like
I do. I think my thing really is like I have idea brain. I have mad idea brain. Like I could sit down with a room full of people and before all 100, 200, 400, 10,000 of them walked out of the room, I could design them an entire stream and like give them content to do. But for me to sit down and be happy with an idea, for me, almost impossible.
Oh, see, I'm not actually an artist either. So I don't have like that invisible wall that artists have where they're like, it's not perfect and I can't do it.
Right. No, I definitely went to art school and like that's part of my brain. Is like I want the idea to be like for me, right, on my channel, I know that on Monday I do Wayfarer's Guide. On Monday I want to do a Minecraft show, which is easy. Minecraft is easy. On Tuesday I want to do like Tactical Tuesday and do a turn-based strategy game and record it and put it out. But what game? I have 100 of them that I know I could play, but I'm not great at any of them. Like I'm not gonna sit down at a Civ 6 tournament and rock the table. I can compete, but I'm not going to win it. Somebody else is going to knock me the fuck out, or they're going to Indian nuke my ass or something. You know, like there are plenty of things that I'm knowledgeable about, but not good enough at to be an expert per se, right?
Right.
So I shy away from those things because I'm like, oh, there's 100 other people that are already doing that better than I would, so I'll just let them do that. Let me find something else to do. So then I'm like, all right, so Tuesday is the RPG or the turn-based thing, you know. What? No. Because there's none made. Kids are asking me for coffee now. That's awesome.
Wow.
My 10-year-old's like, yeah, caffeinate myself. Let's do that.
Yeah, do it.
So then I'm like, all right, well, what else could I do? I could do an RPG game. I could do an MMO. I could do all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, that's not right. And that's not right. That's not really what I'm trying to do. The only thing that I'm passionate about doing right now that I cannot wait for every Thursday to roll around is to play Breath of Fire 3 because it's my favorite game and I'm really far into it already. I'm like halfway point almost.
Hell yeah.
And that I'm super passionate about. So now I'm looking at like, all right, retro games. What do I want to do with? Can I do more retro game? Yeah, I have a whole shelf full of stuff. I got Legend of Dragoon. I got Final Fantasy 7. I got Twisted Metal 4. I got Legend of Alundra. I got all kinds of games for the PS1. I got a couple of old school throwback consoles like my Atari and my and I've got an arcade box that's like 130 classic arcade games. You know, like Dig Dug, Burger Time, 1942. That style of shit.
Right.
And
right.
if I just focused on retro, I have plenty of content, but I don't want to do that. I want to do a bunch of different things. I also want to put together my Two Crowns show and do this other thing, but I can't decide to sit down and do any of those things because none of those things really has my passion like Breath of Fire 3 has it. Like I won't miss a Thursday, but I can't seem to sit down on a Tuesday and do shit.
Right. I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, you know what? I guess going back to the original statement, I don't think there's a way to teach an adult focus.
No, you have to read it. You have to read it.
Oh, I have to read it.
Oh, he had to.
I love you. I love you, Dad. By Denna. Awesome. High five. Or high forehead. All right.
You talking about dinner already? It's like 10:30 in the morning.
No, Denna, my daughter.
Oh.
Denna.
Oh.
Denna, not dinner. Even though I would grind her into a nice bread and she'd probably be tasty.
Well, I thought you said by BUY dinner.
What?
But it was by Denna. I got it.
Grind you into a bone bread. It's fine.
More meat pies.
Yeah, meat pies. That's right.
That's right.
I would cry, but then I'd eat you and you'd be tasty.
That was
fun.
That was a little Sweeney Todd humor for you guys, in case you didn't know.
I was about to rip this.
Sweeney Todd, Trollkin, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Sweeney Todd is freaking awesome.
Sweeney Todd is awesome. I actually watched a breakdown about a lot of things about that. About the screenplay that became the Sweeney Todd movie with Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. Yeah. And about I stand Johnny Depp so hard. Like when all of that stuff started to happen and knowing my history with domestic violence and abuse and things like that, like I cannot stand Johnny Depp any harder than I do already. Like I just can't.
He didn't do it.
Right. I am aware. But the way that the system works, the way that the courts look at it, the way that everybody kind of jumps down the barrel, you know? Mm-hmm. Like to see him face off against that and win was so satisfying.
Oh, I thought you said you couldn't stand him. I was like, what?
No, Stan. I stan him so hard.
Oh yeah, I feel you. You stand him. Got you. STAN.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So I cannot stand him any harder than I already do. I love that.
Right.
And
It's
to
so
see
cold.
him
I wonder why.
through-
Got out of bed at all. Stand him. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, for
we should
sure.
be together too.
Bro, for real though, to watch what Def's gone through and to do it with such outward class and just know that he was right and win, like, man, that's
yeah. So
that's a fairy tale story, and it happened, and we watched it.
And I'm glad that chick got outed publicly and shamed publicly. But speaking of Sweeney Todd, though, one of my favorite songs in the world comes from that musical. Not When I'm Around. Oh my God, I love that song. Well, I love it when Barb sings it.
That is a good song.
I love it when the kid and Sweeney Todd sings it. I love it from the original Sweeney Todd cast. Like, that song is freaking so good. Like, wow.
So what's your favorite I'll say musical, because operas and stuff are included in that.
I watch a lot of musicals, so
I know you do, but what's your favorite musical?
Man, I'll be real with you. That is a hard question. Right now, and I'm gonna be okay. Right now, it is a toss-up between Phantom and Hamilton.
Yep. Phantom is my all-time favorite. I've seen it in major production theaters.
I've seen it. I've seen it like 4 times on stage, and I've seen it 4 times on stage, and I've seen it like twice in the movie theater, and then I own the movie. Like, I love Phantom. Like, Phantom is really an amazing musical. And if you have not watched Phantom of the Opera, I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life. Like,
find it on a stage, find it on a disc, find it somewhere.
I don't care.
Just watch it.
Just watch it. Phantom is amazing. But Hamilton, the Rapical Hamilton, oh my God.
The what?
The Rapical Hamilton. Oh my God. That's what I call it. I call it a Rapical.
What does that mean?
So you obviously haven't seen Hamilton yet.
I have seen Hamilton, but what does Rapical mean?
So musical, right? Rapical. So they rap throughout most of Hamilton, right?
I mean, I guess that's what you call it.
They do. They rap throughout most of Hamilton.
All right. So I probably would not chalk it up to rap, because that's kind of disrespectful to the game. But okay.
Oh, you know what? You can say that, right? But because of Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda has been in all kind of hip hop circles and in all kind of tracks and ciphers. So you can call it whatever you want. But it wasn't. Look, the rap community embraced Hamilton as rap, and honestly, Lin-Manuel Miranda is an amazing lyricist. Like,
yeah, no, that's fact.
He literally wrote a whole rap musical about the American Revolutionary War. He's a dope ass lyricist, and the whole hip hop community respected that. Like, this nigga's lyrics is fire. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, there is a distinction between rappers that can tell a story and those who can't. That's for sure.
And as a matter of fact, the actual last track on Hamilton is not the Eliza track, which is the last one you hear in the musical, but it's really this rap with like Busta Rhymes and like 5 other rappers.
Yeah, no, I know. If you listen to the soundtrack, you get the extra bit.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I love Hamilton. I freaking love Hamilton. Like, I spent all last summer listening to that.
As far as musicals go, it does tell a compelling story that is, while not necessarily historically accurate, it's what it is.
But I'm also in love with Little Shop. Like, I'm insanely in love with
Little Shop. Little Shop's on my top 5 for sure.
They took me like 3-4 years ago to my birthday to see Little Shop on stage.
Rick Moranis was fucking amazing.
I love Oklahoma. Like, I love Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma is a fantastic musical.
I think that it is a fantastic stage production, and if you get a chance to watch it on stage, you should because it's a classic. But I don't put it in my top 5 just because I don't really care about the story that much.
I love it.
There's other like Rent is more important to me than Oklahoma. Cats is more important to me than Oklahoma.
I would drop Cats. Cats has great songs and a dumbass story.
I agree, but I have a childhood tie to Cats. A bunch of friends of mine and I got into it when we were little, and we like made stage productions of it in our back alleyway, and like
that's too cute.
All the characters and stuff. Yeah, it was a bunch of kids playing Cats in the back alley, so it was little. Yentl's good.
Yentl is friggin' amazing, yo. Okay, so
again,
all the Barbra Streisand musicals for me are fire, like Funny Girl, Yentl.
That was probably one of her early classics.
Yeah, like just all her musicals for me. I love Barbra Streisand. Like my dad.
Yeah, Mad Power on Stage.
Yeah, my dad introduced me to Barbra Streisand when I was like 14, 15. Like for real.
I think my introduction to Barbra Streisand was probably earlier than I think it was. I watched several of her movies when I was younger, but I think the one that really, I think her music is what really got me into her, like her actual albums.
Well, see, okay, so I had watched like her stuff when I was younger too, of course, right? But
yeah, because she was in so many movies in like the 70s, 80s, early 90s.
In like the early 90s, she came out with her 50th year concert, right? Mm-hmm. And my dad had brought that on DVD, and like you said, powerful stage presence, powerful stage performer, pipes to kill anybody, right? And like she threw one of the most amazing concerts.
Her comfort on stage.
Yes.
Her comfort level on stage. She's very confident. She's very over. Like she knows that she's out there and all those people came to see her, so she's putting it out there.
Yeah, look, Barb kills it on stage. She puts on a hell of a performance, and I fell in love with Barbra Streisand after watching 3 hours of her DVD. I was like, you are the greatest songstress in the world! Bravo! Bravo!
No, my love for her came from a movie, and I bet you guess which one it was.
Prince of Tides.
No, but that was a good one.
Yeah. So
it was later. It was one of her later ones.
So which one?
Hocus.
You said what?
Hocus.
Hocus.
Okay. Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. Hocus Pocus. That was the solidify my love for her in general, just because that movie was fucking amazing.
So
everybody gives it a lot of shit for being a hokey Halloween, whatever, but the movie's awesome.
A Star Is Born, honestly, is one of my favorite. And I haven't watched the new one because I don't want to compare it to the old one. You know what I'm saying?
Do you find yourself doing that in the age of like remakes, movies that are remade and everything that's remade?
Especially
you find yourself doing that?
Really, yes. Especially if it was really, really good, like A Star Is Born. Like I own A Star Is Born. It's on my Vudu, right? Because I got a shared Vudu, so I share with like 2 other people. And I didn't buy it, but I own it, and I still have not watched it yet because I cannot imagine anyone but Barbra Streisand playing that role right now.
I can't imagine anyone but Barbara doing her roles in anything.
Yeah, seriously.
Because those are shoes, son. You don't just fill shoes that Barbra Streisand made classic.
Now, I'll be real with you. I feel like Lady Gaga was an amazing choice for the role. She shares the same type of outward awkwardness that Barbra Streisand was notorious for back then, right? She also has an amazing set of pipes. Lady Gaga can sing her ass off.
She can sing her ass off. I don't always like her music, but I can't take away from her talent.
I don't like pop music like that either. I don't always like her shock culture stuff, but I can't take.
I don't dislike her in general.
Yeah,
I don't dislike her in general. There's some of her music is like, why did you make that though? Yeah. Like with all the things you could have done, that song, really?
But other than that, I think she was probably an excellent choice for the role, right? I cannot watch it because it's not Barbra Streisand.
Personally,
right?
Yeah, personally, I can't see somebody else filling, like I said, filling the shoes of a role that Barbara made a classic out of. Like, I can't.
Yeah. So
like, it's fine. Just leave it alone. Just watch the old one.
So talking about the Prince of Tides,
Like,
though. Talking about the Prince of Tides.
Prince of Tides was a really good movie.
In that same concert I was talking about, right? Like, in one of her little interludes, she's like, "I have something for you. The Prince of Tides was not about a prince or tides. Discuss."
Yeah, for real. She's dead on with that too. It wasn't about any of that. It had nothing to do with that.
She's like, discuss. Yo, like, Barbara's great. But no, there's a lot of musicals, and I haven't even really touched the tip of the iceberg of the musicals that I've seen that I also enjoy that I would love to squeeze into my top 5. Like,
Phantom is my top one, like, by far. I identify with the Phantom character so much and have throughout most of my life. I understand the function of the play, right? Like, I get the story behind it. But I don't think that it would be my favorite if I had not seen some of the things that I've seen on stage in the production of it. I was lucky enough to go to Toronto when I was in middle school. Elementary school, maybe. I think elementary school. To Pantages Theater in Toronto before it closed. And it was designed to play Phantom of the Opera. The whole theater was designed to play Phantom. And you can tell that it was designed for that because of the trapdoors and the way the stage functions. The things that are built into it, the catwalk above, the trapdoors all over the place. When he does his first into the sewer scene, the whole stage is covered in fog, and these candelabras are popping up and down through the floor to represent a longer path than he really took across the stage in this little gondola, right? And at the scene where he's running from the villagers, this guy dives off of the catwalk, probably 30 feet above the stage, and just disappears through the smoke.
Nice.
Watching that as a 9-year-old, I was like, what the fuck is even, like, this is supposed to be a play. What is happening right now? Like, I'm watching an active movie right now, and it's so powerful. And then when I watched it here in Jacksonville at the convention center, the scene where he's messing with dude and they're having their fight, he's launching fireballs out of a cane from on top of a mausoleum at the cemetery at the guy at the stage. And in my head, even as an adult, I'm like, oh, I know how that works. You know, they have these things out on strings and it's a stage prop. Watching it happen was another thing altogether. This guy was launching fireballs on stage.
Right.
It was epic.
So last production of Phantom I seen was freaking amazing. Like,
I don't think they can
like
do
the gondola scene. Like, they set up the stage where it really was moving through the stage, right? So it was like on a track like this going through. It was so good, and the fog was everywhere. But still, like, I think, Phantom might be my favorite. I want to go see Hamilton live. I want to see what that looks like live. I think the stage.
Hamilton live would be nuts.
I think the stage production Hamilton
live would be nuts.
Was so next level. Like, I think they did that rotating stage they used for Hamilton was so friggin' fire. Like,
you think they could pull it off live?
They did pull it off live. That recording was live.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, that was live in front of an audience. That was one of their, like, last performances they recorded. No, they can absolutely put off Hamilton live. That was a show the show was on fire on fucking Broadway. But I've also seen, like, really good shows that didn't require, like, a lot of stage work, like Serafina. Right? Like, Serafina was amazing.
Yeah, that's all in the character.
Right, Serafina was amazing.
Yeah, that's all in the character. I think Rent pulls that for me, where it's really not about the production value. It's really about the characters and them portraying their struggle.
I could have stood Rent as a movie over a musical. That's where Rent lost me. For me, I was like, Rent should be a movie. Like, it would have had, for me, much
And
more
when they
impact.
did produce it as a stage production for a movie, like it was done very well.
Oh, I'll be honest, I didn't even watch it. I've seen the stage play. I've seen a production of the stage play, but I haven't seen the movie.
Movie's good.
Is it? Oh, well, I'll watch it.
You might enjoy it as a movie better than a stage production.
Yeah, I felt like a writer really could have sat down and wrote a more impactful story if that was just a movie. That's my personal feelings on Rent. I don't know why I feel that way.
No, I get that, and a lot of people feel that way. It's not in everybody's top 5 for that very reason. That it's not an epic stage production. It's not it's not a fantasy story. It's not it's just people. It's kind of a slice of life.
It's a slice of life musical, is what it is. Okay, I'll tell you what my least favorite musical is. Repo, the genetic opera.
Really?
Like, it's good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't dislike it. It's just my least favorite musical.
I would have thought that you would like the slightly off kilter introspective of a dystopian.
I do. I love the story of Repo. I don't necessarily love the songs and shit.
Yeah, some of them are a little odd, but I mean,
no, I love the story of Repo. Right? Like, I love the story of Repo. I think the song's a little.
That's when you said that, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm really talking from a musical perspective. Like, it kind of got low production value in the music, low arrangement value.
The movie that they produced, while they had a few good, really good actors in it, they also had a few really bad actors
in it. Yeah. Okay, I can't get into Rocky Horror Picture Show either. I've tried a million times. I can't. It's not my fucking jam.
Oh, bro. I love Rocky Horror. I got exposed to Rocky Horror in my grandmother's living room.
Dude, I don't know a white person that doesn't like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, all right.
That is okay. There are 2 movies that all of you enjoy as a culture: Rocky Horror Picture Show and Monty Python's The Holy Grail.
I have a box set with all the with a film cell and the yeah, you're not wrong.
No, I'm not. Those are 2 movies that the entirety of white culture knows and loves. Oh, and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I have the collector's edition box set.
Right, look at you.
With all the extras and the things.
It's not even that funny.
Oh, dude. There are so many amazingly funny parts to it, though.
But it's not even that funny. Y'all also love Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Culturally, y'all love that movie. Oh, look at that. That's so cute.
I don't.
That's cute.
I actually don't like Fear and Loathing.
I think that's a horrible movie.
I don't think it's a horrible movie, but I'm also not that into drug culture movies. Like, I've watched a lot of them. I watched Chase the Green Dragon. I watched Blow. I watched Fear and Loathing. I've watched lots of them.
No, I love Blow.
But I'm not. Blow's okay. Like, I get the point of Blow and why it is what it is, and I get it. But I've never been. Honestly, I think for drug movies, I think Chase the Dragon is probably a better one.
I think the best drug movie is Trainspotting.
Trainspotting is not bad.
Trainspotting was excellent.
And it does the same thing for me that Chase the Dragon gets, where it gets that gritty struggle of the addict. Chase the Dragon is all about the addict's journey through the addiction. And I think Trainspotting kind of catches that and does a good job portraying it. So I respect it as a drug culture movie. Blow kind of does, but in this bigger than life fantastical thing,
Well,
even though
yeah.
Blow's based on a true story,
Yeah.
it does it in Hollywood fashion. So
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I just like watching George Young, make all that money. You know what? Another culture movie y'all love, MBK, Natural Born Killers.
Oh, so I watched Natural Born Killers before, right? And I didn't really get it. And then I found pot in my life and watched it again, and then it was a more enjoyable movie. I haven't watched it since. It's not a thing that I go out of my way to go track down, but I have seen it. I did enjoy it. I liked it better high. It was what it is.
Those are just 4 movies I know white people get super excited about. Like, super excited about. Like, we get excited about Belly. Like,
dude. That was exactly what I was about to say. I was like, okay, Belly.
Right. We get excited about Belly. You say Belly, or you say Paid in Full to like any black person. They go like, that's my movie. That's my movie though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Literally, that was the one thing on my tip of my tongue when you said that. I was like, oh, well, it's not like y'all don't have cultural movies, Belly.
Oh, we totally do. Like Madea, say any Madea movie around any black person. I love Madea.
So here's the thing with the whole Madea series for me, right?
I hate Madea.
As a white dude who grew up in a ghetto in a predominantly black area, I recognize Madea more. Like, the early films were that they were very culturally centered, but after the first few, it became, let's see if we can get a bunch of white people in a theater to pay for this movie.
Yep.
Like,
look,
it definitely became, let's empty those wallets and put another one of these out.
Yeah.
And then it lost its cultural significance, and I kind of lost respect for the franchise after the first.
You want to know how I feel about Tyler Perry? Watch my Monday night show. What is this is called the show African American Discussion. I get on Tyler Perry quite a bit in that show, especially the early episodes. Like,
yeah, the pandering. I think there's
pandering,
a way to go.
The pandering to both cultures.
You want to see? No. You want to see like a movie that really does explore black culture? Soul Food, man. That shit for real.
No, I love Soul
Food.
That is
about it. Like, that is the deep ass back in the hood. Like, that's how your family functioned.
Yeah.
And growing up where that was, like, I feel that.
No, Soul Food is a great movie.
Like, there was a couple other ones too that came out around the same time. There was the one with Angela Bassett and that cheating bastard, and she lit that dude's house on fire.
She didn't light his house on fire. She lit his.
It was his car.
Yeah, his clothes.
His clothes in his car.
Waiting to exhale.
Waiting to exhale. That right there. Those movies came out around the same time, and they were real cultural phenomenon. The Tyler Perry, the Madea, that's not real cultural phenomenon. Those are like those things.
Totally agree with you.
Like, those are just movies to throw wallets at, and you want to see the real bit, where those came from. Soul Food and Waiting to Exhale are where those movies came
Waiting
from.
to Exhale is so damn good. And the soundtrack, the soundtrack to Waiting to
Exhale is fire.
Every song on Waiting to Exhale was on the top 20 list at least on Billboard. Look, every song
for years,
came out. Waiting to Exhale had the best soundtrack in the probably honestly the most successful soundtrack besides Saturday Night Fever. Okay, before we go on break, I just watched a documentary a little bit about the Bee Gees, right? The Bee Gees were so successful that they were the reason that people stopped messing with them. Like, they were, so they released 2 albums. They released Saturday Night Fever, and then they released their actual album in 1978, right?
Yep.
Every track on there, on both of the albums, was a disco hit. Right?
Yeah, every single one without fail.
There was a time
in the end of an era, even they almost revitalized disco as a genre.
There was
themselves.
A time where on the radio, out of the 8 songs being played, 6 of them were by the Bee Gees, and the 7th was by their brother. You could not listen to the radio without hearing the Bee Gees
without having them on there
day long. And the jockeys were sick of it, and the people were sick of it. But the radio people at the top were like, keep pumping the Bee Gees. And they played the Bee Gees so much and so long in 1978 that the Bee Gees were both responsible for the revitalization of disco and the absolute murder of disco all in the same breath.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and it's literally like, you think of any song that you hear on the radio more often now than you ever care to, and they were on twice as much as that.
Twice as much as that in like the year 1978.
You find the song that the radio killed, and they were on there way more than that one.
Right. And they had like 6 songs on the radio at the same effing time. Like, you literally was just listening to the Bee Gees album all damn day.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Look, the little Bee Gees, I think it was on Hulu, maybe HBO. But that documentary was so good. And I love the Bee Gees, by the way. Like, I'm a huge, huge, huge fan. Matter of fact.
But, I mean, you could be a big fan, but they were on the radio more than Uncle Cracker, and that's saying something.
Yeah. No, they were on the radio too much. Matter of factly, you know how they be, put in your birthday to find out what number 1 hit song was, the number 1 hit song on your birthday, right? Staying Alive was the number 1 hit song on my birthday. It's 1978, right?
Literally anybody those 3 years, it's going to be a Bee Gees
anybody born in 1978, a Bee Gees song was the number 1 song on the chart at the time.
77, 78, 79, shit. Yeah, if you were born in the late 70s, Bee Gees had the number 1 song on your birthday. Whatever.
Right, whatever. One of the Bee Gees songs or their little brother's song was the number 1 hit on your birthday. Yo,
guaranteed.
They killed the 70s, literally killed the 70s. Like,
yeah, they sent it out on a stretcher.
Yeah, they sure did. But that wasn't the Bee Gees' fault. Like, they didn't do that.
No, it wasn't all. It was the money. It was where the money was.
They just made dope tracks. Like, and really, like, their hits, look, their music stands the test of time. You can put on.
It does. It's still today. You hear it on the radio right now. Everybody knows
that is like, and you came to me on a summer's breeze.
They hit. They were on.
Yo.
They hit that spot where pop music has been trying to get to.
Yes.
Where they've got all of the perfect rhythms with all of the perfect beat signatures and all of the perfect lyrical runs to make you not be able to forget their shit.
The killer falsettos, yo.
Yeah.
And it's me.
They hit all the notes. Like, they hit all the little things you need to make that music successful.
Look, and the songs were poignant and they were well written. Like, the lyrics were deep. Like, the Bee Gees was just murdering the game back then.
And they're still being studied to find out how music perfection happens.
They're actually still writing your hits. So the Bee Gees didn't go away. The Bee Gees became like some of the most prolific hit writers in the 20th century.
And they fueled music theory into the 2000s.
Yeah, like the Bee Gees is like, you have no idea.
The way their music is structured is what pop musicians look at to find out how to design their music.
They were so good at the game, they had to get out the game because there was no room for nobody else. That's really what was going on.
Well, and they had got paid so much money, they didn't care.
Yeah, well, they did care. They really they took it personally bad for some years how the public received them, because publicly they were blamed for what the industry was doing.
Well, they were like the Nickelback and Creed of the 70s. So
yeah. You know what? I still like Nickelback and Creed. I don't know why they get so much slack, man.
Because.
But okay. So I don't listen to the radio stations that actually pump out that genre of music.
That right there is exactly why you don't mind them, because if you did listen to those radio stations, the alternative rock, the oldies, now. If you listen to those radio stations, you'd hear those bands like they heard the Bee Gees in the 70s. Because they only just pop it out. Knowing the community outcry, please stop. They just keep playing them.
Yeah, I
like Higher. Dude, Higher is on a radio station at least 2 or 3 times a day, and I hear it.
I like alternative rock, but I don't listen to like alternative rock and oldies rock stations, right? I just choose what I want to play, and then I play that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in my comfort zone playing. I don't really listen to the radio. But I definitely
only listen to the radio in the car. I only listen to the radio in the car, and I don't drive that often. So when I am in the car and I'm listening to a station, and I know that I'm going to hear a Creed or Nickelback song this many years later, it's like, wow. Okay. Thought I was still in high school again. All right.
No, I understand.
And it's just it's like you said about the Bee Gees in the late 70s. You heard their shit on the radio like all the time, constantly, and you just got tired of hearing it. Creed and Nickelback.
Yeah, but even Creed and Nickelback didn't have 6 songs on the radio at the same time. They don't have that many hits. Neither one of them.
No, that's not true. Creed actually did in like the late 90s, early 2000s have an album that had a bunch of top chart stuff happen. And I don't know that it top charts because the fans got it there or because the industry got it there or whatever. But they had several songs. I don't know if it was that many, but there were several that were interchangeable and you heard them fucking constantly.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody had Saturday Night Fever the movie back in their fucking album sales. And that's what happened with the Bee Gees, really, is that Saturday Night Fever was like also like a phenomenon. It was bigger than
anything.
Right? It was bigger than life. It had John Travolta, it had the disco scene, it had the coke scene, and everything looked glamorous. The music was fire. The Bee Gees did the whole soundtrack was the other thing with the Saturday Night Fever thing. Like, except for 2 songs of Saturday Night Fever, the Bee Gees did the whole thing.
Yeah, how often do you see a band do an entire soundtrack? It's not that often.
Queen and Highlander, It's a Kind of Magic. Yes.
Okay, so
that's all I got.
Queen and the Bee Gees. All right.
That's all I got. That's literally all I got.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Like,
Elton John and Lion King.
Rocket Man.
Lion King.
He also did the whole thing. Rocket Man was his
it's all his music though.
Hollywood.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a gimme, right? But Lion King, right? Elton John did all Lion King. Phil Collins did all of Treasure Planet.
Tarzan.
And Tarzan and Treasure Planet.
Yeah, I mean, but you're talking about some of the biggest names in music.
Well, yeah. You said
like
who else?
Across history. Like Phil Collins, Elton John, the Bee Gees, and Queen.
Yeah,
like those are massive, massive talents. To be in that kind of category where you get your own movie soundtrack, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. But no, we wasted an hour talking about things that had nothing to do with world and life skill building. Nothing at all. I mean, they always have something to do with development. Yeah.
All of those things that we talked about this morning were really good for us anyway.
Yeah.
Music, movies, entertainment, merch. It's all stuff, man.
So, yeah.
It's all stuff that we enjoy.
You need a break from things, right? Even when you're...
For sure.
But we're going to... we're about to take a break, actually, speaking of breaks. That's a good segue.
Yeah, I have an empty coffee cup, and it's sad.
Well, mine is going to remain empty, but I'm definitely going to put some cancer in my chest. And
I might come back with a Diet Cheerwine.
I'm gonna go.
I found some of those the other day.
Bio.
I don't know if you know what Cheerwine is, but that shit's amazing.
I have no idea what Cheerwine is.
It's a soda from North Carolina. It's great.
I'll order some online. I'll try it. But no, we're gonna go on break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do some virtual table game stuff.
Virtual versus. I got my dock pulled up.
Yeah, I got my dock pulled up too.
I don't know where we're at.
Pretty
but
sure we're
I
in
got it.
Perception Touch is where we're going to start today. And yeah, so let's take a break. We'll be back in about 10.
Woot. All right, before we do that.
Oh, we're back though. Before we do that, we're back, and he wanted to do something before we got back, but I was already.
I just want to verify where we are in this list.
I'm pretty sure we're on Perception Touch. It's gonna be after Taste. Yeah, it's gonna be after Taste.
Perception. Perception sight, perfect vision, spectral eyes. Perception smell. Perception taste. Is that where we're at? I said touch. Touch. There we are. All right. Bam. On it.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'm pretty sure this is where we need to be.
All right.
Okay. Perception touch. Okay, so just to catch you all up, if you're watching the show for the first time, or if you're watching the show and you just don't know what the hell we're doing,
which is probable.
Me and a friend of mine some years back, Jake Bond, awesome dude, trying to get in touch with him now. We wrote this tabletop game called Virtual Versus. It is a D100 game. Only uses one die. It is a percentile based number tabletop game, percentage based tabletop game. And it has a power system based on knacks and skills. And what we've been going over is a skill and knack list. And what we're at right now is we're on the body chapter, which is the first chapter of skills and knacks we're covering. And we did read all the rules and stuff that go with the game, covered all that stuff.
All of the basics. Now we're just going through the fleshing out parts so that we can familiarize ourselves and you guys with what's going on in the game and how the mechanics function and the ideas that we have as we read through the knacks and skills and how they work together and what they do with each other and how to build a character. There's the chart right there that he's pulled up.
Yeah, I decided to pull up the chart. So this is the scaling chart. I wanted to go over this again because it actually applies a lot to what we're reading, and we don't really remember the numbers. But
the numbers scale. We remember that they scale.
We remember that they scale. But this is what the scaling looks like. So this would be a level 1 attack, right? So normal power would be level 1. Its requirement is that you have 1 point in it, whatever the skill is. The cost is generally 0, or it is always 0 at normal. And the damage is always 1 at normal. As you see, it goes down powerful, full power, super, blah 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 blah, right? But the scaling works like the scaling is 2 to 1 down the list here. Right? Well, no, I guess not because this is 29 and 20.
Yeah, it's not quite, but
2 to 1. But here you see at level 2, you have a requirement of 2 points in whatever the skill is. It costs 1, whatever it is, PP or whatever point that it uses for what it does. And then it'll up the damage to 2. Then it's 3, 2, 3, 7, 3, 7, 11, 7, 11, 13, 11, 13, 17, 13, 17, 19, 17, 19, 23, 19, 29, 20, 29. So like an ultra powerful. It course, it has a requirement of 29 points put in the skill, right?
Which is a lot.
It will cost 23 of whatever the skill uses, and then it will do damage equal to the amount of points you put into it. Right. Let me see. What is the actual math on this? Because I know I came up with this math. So 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. Why'd this go up to 7?
Mr. Solutions mathing on camera. Here we go.
Because I don't know why I did the math this way. I know I had a super specific reason I did it this way. When I did it.
I think that it probably is the point breakdown and where you wanted levels to be on the chart.
I think that largely has to do with, because there's no math scheme to how this got from 323 to 737.
Except that they're all prime numbers.
Oh yes, that's what it was. We decided to use prime numbers. That's exactly what
they're all prime numbers.
That's exactly what it is. We decided to use prime numbers doing this. Yes, that's that. Yeah, I can hear Jake talking about primes right now. But yes.
Well, that's the math factorization when you factor out primes and that when you're looking at level progression and prime numbers, it skews the field, like from normal power to ultra powerful. The amount of investment equal to the amount of output is exponential down the chart.
Yes. So essentially, we can come up with like mega ultra, right? And then like we can have like mega ultra powerful, and then that would be what's the next set of primes there?
The 33.
33.
No.
33 is not a prime.
Nope. It'd be 37.
Yes. So it'd be a 37, 29, 37 chart. Right. So that's how you.
So it's exponential power gain.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep investing points, then when you get to your next prime number, then you'll fucking scale up again. So
woot.
Yeah, woot. That's the chart. Honestly, this has a lot of the same information on it. I didn't realize until the other day I was reading it that it is largely the same thing. But we're gonna keep reading off the one we were reading off of, so we don't cause confusion. But perception touch. I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I perception touch myself.
Ooh.
Yeah. So hot.
Wow.
But perception touch will allow virtuals who use it to use physical contact to sway the emotions of their adversaries. Who's dying back there?
The baby's having himself a fit.
I see. Adversaries of their emotions of the adversaries, as well as allow them to glimpse into a target's past or future and even borrow their bodies or powers if the need arises.
All right. Exceptional touch. Level 1 requires 1 point perception touch, cost 0 PP. Exceptional taste. Nope. That says taste. Exceptional touch grants a +1 to checks that require the user to use the sense of touch for 1 hour.
Borrower's touch. Level 1 requirement, 1 point perception touch and a knack exceptional touch. Cost 0 PP. Description: the knack borrower's touch allows the virtual possessing the knack to be able to assimilate 1 knack from allies or adversaries for 1 round.
Oh, so this is Rogue's power.
Yeah.
Nice. Sense touch passed. Level 1, 1 point perception touch and knack exceptional touch. 0 PP cost. The virtual using Sense Touch Past is able to come into physical contact with an object, ally, or adversary and then be able to determine its whereabouts up to 1 hour in the past. At level 1, this can only be used on 1 target per hour, which also levels and stacks and does all that
So
stuff.
at level 2, you'd be able to use it on 2 targets for 2 hours, right?
Right.
Sense Touch Future. Level 1 requirement, 1 point perception touch and a knack exceptional touch. Cost 0 PP. Description: after coming into physical contact with the target, a virtual using Sense Touch Future is able to vaguely see into the target's future, allowing +1 bonus to all interactions with the target for 1 hour. At level 1, this can only be used on 1 target per hour. So, real quick on that. That's adversaries or allies, right? So you can touch an adversary or ally, and then all your buffs to them would be +1 for an hour.
Nice.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's sweet.
That is
and
sweet.
levels. That's cool. Calm Touch, level 1, requires 1 point perception touch and knack exceptional touch. It costs 0 PP. Through physical contact, virtuals using Calm Touch are able to calm their target, using the target to become non-aggressive to the virtual, using the knack for 1 round. At level 1, this can only be used on 1 target per hour.
That doesn't do anything.
It does.
The physical contact using Calm Touch are able to calm their target, causing the target to become non-aggressive. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes the whole status.
That's almost
yeah. There are a billion uses for that. I think the most common one is like trying to get information out of somebody. You're like against a hostile target. There's no way they're going to tell you anything.
Even simpler than that, an adversary just loses a round of attack against you.
Even if they counteract in the next round, it's still a free round for your allies anyway.
Or for you anyway. Like, if they wanted to target you, they absolutely cannot.
Right. Yeah,
I
can see the.
I don't know how I missed the non-aggression. I don't know. Enrage Touch, level 1, requirement 1 point perception touch and knack exceptional touch, costs 0 PP. Description: through physical contact, virtuals using Enrage Touch are able to cause an unexplainable rage, causing their target to attack their allies for 1 round. At level 1, this can only be used on 1 target per hour.
Always good to make your enemies fight themselves.
It's bizarre.
And yeah, Enticing Touch, level 1, 1 point perception touch, the knack's exceptional touch, and Calm Touch costs 0 PP. Through physical contact, virtuals using Enticing Touch are able to cause the target to become infatuated with the user for 1 round. The target is then under the command of the user of Enticing Touch for 1 round. Level 1s can only be used on 1 target per hour. This is definitely how you make super spies.
Yeah. It's also how you make somebody fight somebody on their squad. Like, yeah.
That's like Confessor's Touch in the Sword of Truth series.
Body Transference Touch. Ooh. Level 1, requirement 1 point perception touch and the knack exceptional touch, costs 0 PP. Description: the knack Body Transference Touch allows virtuals using it to switch bodies with the intended target for 1 hour out of combat and for 1 round while in combat. While in the body of the target, the user of Body Transference Touch has complete control over the target for 1 hour in combat and 1 round in combat. At this level, this can only be used on 1 target per round. I actually want to change this requirement to have enticing touch.
Yeah, I was thinking like that seems like it's a little underpowered on the requirements. However, if you switch bodies with someone who is a hostile adversary and then they just kill themselves in your body, what happens?
You just go back
to your dead body?
Oh, if they kill you, if they kill your dead body, you're dead in your dead body. I mean,
right. So then all of a sudden you switch back there in their body and good, and you're dead.
Yeah, that can happen. Like,
because that's my defense. That's my immediate defense. Oh, I'm in somebody else's body.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay. So there's no switch here. I guess the title of that implies there's a switch. It says switch bodies. Yeah,
with the intended target. Yeah, you better be real careful who you switch your bodies with, bro. You end up with a broke neck.
I'm gonna leave that up to the. I'm gonna leave that up to the players.
You fuck around and switch bodies with your ex-wife and see if your balls are still where they're supposed to be.
Look, I'm gonna leave that up to the players. Right? They're gonna figure that out.
Don't do no shit like that to me in a game. I'll tell you what. Wielding blunt weapons. Building your points up with blunt weapon skill will allow you to use clubs, maces, hammers, and other various blunt weapons and crushing attacks and combinations of those attacks, leaving your opponents flattened under the weight of your blows.
Yes. Now when we read the rest of this wielding stuff, all the dual weapon stuff will make sense because we read the fighting dual wielding stuff. Right. Overhead swing. Level 1 requirement 1 points. Wielding blunt cost 0 PP. Description. Bless you, by the way. When using overhead swing, players generate more inertia with a swing, causing +1 damage with a blunt weapon.
Woot. Smash. Level 1 requires 1 point wielding blunt and 0 PP cost. Using Smash allows the player to cause any small inanimate object to break. Can be used in conjunction with attack moves like overhead swing. So that is pelvises included. All right.
That's right. Spinning swing. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding blunt. Cost 0 PP. Description. While using a blunt weapon, the player spins in a 360-degree circle, causing 1 point damage to everyone in attack range radius.
I just had a Jetsons flashback in your Rosie the Robot. Crush. Level 1 requires 1 point wielding blunt, costs 0 PP. Using Crush, player is able to break any medium inanimate object. Can be used in conjunction with attack moves like overhead swing.
Knock down. Level 1 requirement 1 point wielding blunt, cost 0 PP. Description: player swings weapon at enemy, causing the enemy to become prone. This also causes +1 point of damage.
See, and this is something that I'm super interested in. Knockdown is mean. It always has been. It always will be. It's always going to be gross. Pissed Off. Level 1. Requirements: 1 point wielding blunt. Virtual must have 2 attack-based blunt wielding. Cost 0 PP. Description: you're now pissed off, making your attacks with a blunt weapon unstoppable and adding a +1 to all attacks for 1 hour.
Bulldoze. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding blunt. Players must also have 1 power knack. Cost 0 PP. Description: bulldoze your way into a fray and release a barrage of 2 blunt wielding knacks in combination for the total of their attack damage or effect. And I wanted to say power knack. I think I wanted to say they needed to have. Give me a second.
Because that is definitely a spinning swing knockdown combo right there.
Yeah, give me a second. We need to fix that before we go further.
I go rushing into combat. I use spinning swing and knockdown in combo. Oh, yeah.
Okay, front group stress transform athletics.
All adversaries in the range, and they all hit the ground.
And 1 weightlifting knack is what this needs to say.
Quickly.
That's what this needs to say. 1 weightlifting knack. There we go. All right, that makes more sense. And let's change this to virtual. I don't know why this.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, Wielding Pole Arm. Players who focus points into the skill Pole Arm will be able to use weapons like poles, glaives, staves, and halberds with striking precision and accuracy. Using deadly spins and thrusts, the players who perfect the skill Pole Arm will become unreachable in combat due to use of attacks and combos. I like that idea.
Yeah, right. Jab. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding pole arm. Cost 0 PP. Description: using the end of a pole arm, players jab at adversaries, causing 1 point of damage.
Swing. Level 1 requires 1 point wielding pole arms, cost 0 PP. Description: player swings pole arm in 180-degree radius, forcing all adversaries back 1 area space.
Spin. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding pole arm. Cost 0 PP. Description: I don't know why this says player, not virtual. Virtual uses pole arm and spinning maneuver to cause 1 point damage to everyone in a 360-degree radius of spin.
Thrust. Level 1 requires 1 point in wielding pole arm. Costs 0 PP. Player uses thrusting move to cause 1 point damage to opponent's adversary. Also get forced back area 1 space. Back 1 area space.
Yeah, it gets forced back 1 area space. Yeah. Oh, level 1 requirement 1 point. Cost 0 PP. Description: you're able to hold an adversary's progression using causing them to lose 1 round action. Basically, you just stick their your pole in their chest and be like, stop. They're like, oh my
Be like,
God.
whoop.
Right.
Whoa, up, bruh. Pole arm stance. Level 1 requires 1 point wielding pole arm and 2 pole arm wielding knacks. Cost 0 PP. Confident in your abilities with a pole arm, you enter battle with a powerful stance, granting a +1 to all attacks for 3 rounds. That's nice.
Isn't it, though? Double-headed strike. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding pole arm and 2 pole arm wielding necks. Cost 0 PP. Description. Proficient with the use of a pole arm, you can strike with both ends, allowing you to use 2 pole arm wielding necks for the combined amount of their damage or effects. That's actually pretty dope.
I like that. Yeah, no, that's sweet. That's like pole arm stance spin or pole arm stance halt.
Yeah.
That's good. Wielding a sword. For players who choose the way of the sword, then place points in the skill sword so that you may wield any type of sword, like weapons from the katana to the rapier or scimitar to the saber. The player will be able to unleash a deadly torrent of slashes and thrust attacks and combos that will leave their opponent in ribbons at their feet.
Ribbons at their feet. I wrote that well. That was good.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
Slash. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding sword. Cost 0 PP. Descriptions. Players use a slashing move to attack enemies for 1 point damage.
Pierce. Level 1. Requirement 1 point wielding sword. 0 PP. Virtual pierces the flesh of any enemy, causing 1 point of damage.
Stab. Level 1. Requirement 2 points wielding sword and the neck. Pierce. Cost 1 PP. Description. Player can stab enemies causing 2 points of damage.
Whoop, we're going up.
We're going up.
Level 1. Slice. Level 1. Requirement 1 point in wielding sword. I'm going to assume that is wielding sword.
Yes.
Costs 0 PP. Using Slice, Virtual can attempt to permanently disfigure an enemy or opponent by slicing off an external organ, causing 1 point of damage. So that is a Tyrion nose job right there.
Right. Cut off somebody's hand or their arm or their leg, or you can literally frick up a whole nother player.
Yeah.
The PvP in this is going to be crazy.
Dude, yeah. So I'm interested when we get through the mechanics and stuff, like how the saving throws and how the counters work, because that's interesting. And some of these definitely need to be countered.
Well, yeah. So basically, in theory, how it should work is, you're just gonna roll. Okay, so just like the attack roll is gonna roll a D100 against the number that you have on your stat sheet. When you need to counter it, it's gonna do the same thing. You're gonna roll a D100 against the other person's matching number to see if you counter it. Right? It's actually gonna be quite simple when it's all said and done. It really is just one dice roll per move, and then what does it say on the stat sheet? Am I lower or higher than that? And if you're lower, you're successful. If you're higher, then you fail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now that's the thing about the game, though, right? As you, the player, get higher up the chain, it becomes easier for rolls against you to succeed. Right? So as you start stacking more numbers and you go higher because you need a lower number to succeed, then it's easier to get a lower number once you get to, so like, let's say you got like 90 points or something, right? Then it's a 80% chance that whoever's rolling against you is going to be successful. Now,
because you stacked a bunch of numbers into the math.
Exactly. Now, if everybody is like around the same level, then that's still kind of balanced, right? Lower level players are going to have an easy time hitting you, but the hits are going to do nothing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So it still balances in the end, but that's what it looks like on paper, is that, lower rolls will be successful against you more often. You'll get, that percentage will be higher. But
right. No, that makes sense.
Pummel. Level 1, requirement 1 point wielding sword, cost 0 PP. Description: players can use pummel in an attempt to subdue an opponent, causing players to lose 1 round. This causes no damage.
Oof. Razor's Edge, level 1, requires 1 point wielding sword and 2 wielding sword necks, costs 0 PP. You keep your blade at a fine razor's edge, adding +1 to all of your sword attacks. Which is, I mean, that's, that's cool.
That is cool. It makes sense. Weaving Blade, level 1, requirement 1 point wielding sword, 2 wielding sword necks, cost 0 PP. Description: battle has made the blade come alive in your hands, allowing you to string any 2 wielding sword necks into one attack. For the sum total of their attack bonuses or effects.
Woot. I like that.
I do too.
Wielding thrown weapons. Thrown weapon. Taking points in the skill thrown weapon, players will be able to keep themselves at a distance and still be able to cast to cause damage. Maybe the way to go for you. Those who take the skill are able to release deadly attacks and combos as they rain small handled projectiles like daggers, stars, kunai, and shuriken.
In hand. Excuse me. In hand, level 1, requirement 1 point, thrown weapons, cost 0 PP. Description: with thrown weapons in hand, a virtual causes +1 point of damage.
Woot woot.
So to clarify that, so you have to have a weapon in your hand, even if you throw a weapon, right? So basically, you gotta have like a dagger in your left hand. You can throw the one in your right hand. If you keep the one in your left hand, you still get your +1 point of damage. You don't have a dagger in that hand. If you don't have a weapon in that hand, then you don't get that in-hand bonus. That makes sense.
All right. Up sleeve. Level 1 requires 1 point in thrown weapons and a 0 PP cost. Pulling a thrown weapon from your sleeve, you cause +1 point of damage.
Because, the other virtual is surprise. Jacket folds. Level 1. Requirement 1 point thrown weapons. Cost 0 PP. Pulling a thrown weapon from your jacket folds causes 1 point of damage. Same reason.
Right. Still surprise action.
Right.
Doing the thing. From my waist, level 1 requires 1 point thrown weapons, 0 PP. Drawing from your waist, you cause +1 points of damage.
I know it seems a little redundant, but it'll make sense by the end.
Yeah, because if all these things are together, that's the thing. It's synergy.
Yeah, it's super synergy. Oh, my fault. Pen. Level 1 requirement 1 point thrown weapons, 0 PP. Description: you can use thrown weapons to pin an opponent to an object, causing the opponent to lose 1 round of action that causes no damage.
Woo-woo. Deft hands, level 1 requires 1 point thrown weapon, 0 PP. Having deft hands, you can throw 1 thrown weapon from each of your hands. So that's like dual wielding thrown weapons.
Yeah. Hidden blades, level 1 requirement 1 point and something. Wow. Okay. So we're gonna be like 1 point in what is it? What are we in? What is this called? I just missed that on both thrown weapons.
Nice.
And knack and knack up sleeve. Jacket folds. And yeah, I'm gonna make this an N from my waist.
Just because we could build stuff doesn't mean we could type well.
Man,
it's fun.
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna say all of those knacks together actually for this. You now have a collection of hidden thrown weapons giving you a +1 to all thrown weapon attacks. So you'll have,
and again, as you go up in levels on these things, these numbers grow exponentially in the chart.
And you get the bonus from each one of these up my sleeve, jacket folds, and from my waist. So
because each of those has their own point cost and their own growth.
Right. So you're getting your original attack of +1 at this level. You're getting another attack bonus of +1, and then a third attack bonus of +1. from every attack that you get, right? So you're getting, +3 to attack bonus, basically because you're a nasty, sneaky rogue.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Swift hands, level 1 requirement, 1 points thrown weapon, cost 0 PP. Let me read this, and I'm sure we're gonna have to change the requirement. Description: Swift hands allows you to use any 2 thrown weapon knacks in any combination for the sum of their effects and totals in 1 round. Yeah, this is also gonna have to have deft hands.
Yeah, probably should. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wielding unarmed. Some players want blood on their fist and find a weapon to be unnecessary extensions of their bodies. However, they do choose to cover their fists with such devices as brass knuckles, wrapped weights, glass shards, and spiked gloves. Players using unarmed are able to unleash a deadly combo of punches, kicks, knees, and elbows in deadly attacks and combinations.
Yeah, hand wraps covered in tar pitch, whatever, and then rolled around in shredded glass. Oh yeah, that's the shit right
That's
there.
the bee's knees.
That's punch level 1 requires 1 point. Wielding unarmed, 0 PP. The player is trained fighter, and their punches cause +1 point of damage.
Okay, so real quick, we're gonna go through this unarmed, and then we're kind of gonna be close to the top of the hour. I'm gonna bring out a chart of weapons and items and stuff that are just cool. We're gonna start get it. We're gonna look at that just a little.
I mean, honestly, punch, kick, knee, and elbow are all the same thing, just different body part.
Yeah, we can skip that then.
Yeah, it's all +1 point of damage with that particular
Elbow
part.
is the same thing. Headbutt is where it changes.
Headbutt is different. Yeah.
Yeah, level 1 requirement,
different.
1 point. Wielding unarmed, 0 PP. Description: Headbutt opponents causes them to black out and lose 1 round.
Left-right combo. Level 1 requires 1 point. Wielding unarmed and knack punch. 0 PP cost. Your skill as a fighter has increased. You can now punch twice in 1 action, allowing a virtual to attack 1 adversary twice or 2 adversaries once.
Scissor kick, same thing, honestly. With kicks. Focus, level 1 requirement, 1 points. Wielding unarmed and 2 attack-based wielding knacks. Cost 0 PP. The player has been in many altercations. It's been in too many altercations to be rattled. Can take 1 round to focus on the fight, adding +1 to all attacks for 1 hour.
All right, so that says 1 point wielding unarmed and 2 attack-based wielding knacks, but it does not say unarmed attack-based wielding knacks. Could you then have 2 wielding knacks in other things and then use this ability if you had 1 point in wielding unarmed and then took focus?
Yeah, honestly, focus should just really kind of be as a generic fighting.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's why I wanted to clarify that
and we should move it out of here. But yes.
No. I think that this is probably a good place for it, unless you just put it in the standard wielding category.
Right. I think I'll just change it to like, or I'll have a focus for each of the wielding ones or each of the fighting ones, right? Like each of them will just get a focus.
Or if focus is a generic and it just causes requirements is 1 point in wielding specific,
right?
With 2 attack-based knacks.
Yeah, I'm with that. Okay, we'll change it later though. Flurry.
Yeah, no problem.
Level 1 requirement, 1 points wielding unarmed and 2 attack-based wielding knacks. Same kind of. Well, no, I'm gonna leave that way. Cost 0 PP. Description: The player's deaf with multiple strike types, allowing them to use 2 attack-based wielding knacks in any combination, and 1 attack for the sum of their attack bonuses or effects. That's pretty cool.
That is sweet.
Wielding
a whip.
Yeah, we're at the end of this. Let's go ahead and knock out this. This is actually the end of this.
Wielding whip. Whip wielders have no need to engage opponents in physical combat and instead prefer to strike out at opponents from a distance using bullwhips, chains, quill bonds, and weapons which can lash out at an opponent with quick lashes, doing attacks and debilitating combos.
I just want to point out that my weapons lexicon is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
Yeah, I have not seen anybody mention a Quillenbian in forever.
Yeah, yeah. I've been reading these weapons that I'm like, man, I got a good weapons lexicon, man. Like, wow. Lash, level 1, requirement 1 point wielding whip, costs 0 PP. Description is players lash at adversaries with the whip or chain, causing 1 point of damage.
Constrict, level 1, requires 1 point wielding whip and 0 PP cost. Using a whip or chain, player is able to constrict an adversary's circulation for +1 points of damage.
Same thing with cut is 1 point of damage. Trip is also 1 point of damage. Wrap, I believe, is where it gets interesting. Wrap level 1 requirement.
Well, cut and trip each have their own specific little like.
Oh yeah, because trip
they
makes you
have
prone.
the extra bit. Yeah. So cut leaves a permanent scar. Trip can leave you prone. Wrap is also kind of action restrictor.
Yeah, it restricts access for a round with no damage.
Right.
Crack that whip is interesting. Level 1 requirement 1 point wielding whip and 2 wielding whip knacks. Cost 0 PP. Description: confident in your abilities with a whip or chain. You now enter the fray with a crack of your whip, unnerving your adversaries, giving a +1 bonus to all your attacks for 1 hour. That's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But dude, if you've ever been in a room with somebody that snaps a whip,
yeah,
you know that like
yeah.
There's a couple of sounds that just bring about a feeling. A whip crack, a chainsaw crank up, a shotgun.
They'll unnerve you. Right.
Like they all make you stop a sec. They're like, wait.
Yeah, you lose +1 to all your all your real life rolls when those things happen in real life.
Legit. Halloween time when I was in college, we had a haunted house on our hall, and everybody in the dorm halls competed for the best haunted house hall. And to this day, I still do not know how the kids in my frat that did the bathroom pulled off the shit they did with the chainsaw. It was crazy. I went through there 5 or 6 times just to check it out and see if I could tell. I still could not tell. I watched a dude shove a chainsaw right through a guy's back on the bathroom floor, blood sprayed everywhere. Dude was fine the next day. I saw him several times get that chainsaw. I smelled it when they cracked it on in the showers, that unmistakable chainsaw oil gas smell. And then I watched them plunge that big ass blade right into that guy's black over and over again. It was insane. I still don't know how they did it. It was amazing.
Amazing.
Affected me deeply.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We'll
you know what? Okay, so this is the last one on the list. You know what I need to add to this list? Gun wielding. Firearm wielding.
Yeah, I think firearms would be a whole section unto itself.
Nah, firearm wielding, I think, should actually go into this. But
well, because you have multiple different things on that. You have like small arm, like automatic fire, heavy artillery, sniper style.
Yeah, we just
you got lots of different things.
It's still got to go on the body, the mind, or the soul somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
no, I believe it should go in body. It suits to be body, maybe mind, but it's kind of separated from the psionic and psychic.
I think it's got a combination of both, and I think if we really, push the envelope, we can add like psionics to bullets. Like,
oh, that made everything in my body just creak. You said psionic bullets, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, you know. Oh. But read Wild Whip. That's the last one. Then we're gonna pull up this.
Ooh, Wild Whip, level 1. Requires 1 point wielding whip and 2 wielding whip knacks. Cost 0 PP. Description: skilled in the use of your whip or chain. You can use your whip to successfully attack with 2 wielding whip knacks in any combination.
Yeah, so that's also dope. But I am gonna add some gun wielding knacks to this.
There's a ton of things I could think of for guns.
I'm gonna find these charts I'm looking for. Oh yeah, here we go. So we're gonna open up the melee weapons chart. Okay, yeah, all I got on here is melee weapons on this one. I also got a resource chart. We're gonna pull that up real quick too.
What you looking in?
And the transportation document. So because we're a little late, we're gonna spend a little bit of time on this. I'm kind of gonna fly through these real quick. One, transportation in virtual games looks like this. We have animals, and in the animals list we have camels, donkeys, elephants, and I break them down into their actual real life things. So like I have dromedary camels, which is single hump camels, dual hump camels, donkeys, elephants, African and Asian, horses, small, medium, and large, ponies, small, medium, and large, mules, mythical creatures that you might fly on, big birds, big cats, big dogs, big insects, dragons, blah 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 blah. Yeah, yaks. Aerial, we have airplanes, propelled planes, piston planes, turboprop engine planes. They all come in single, twin, tri, quad engine. Jets, solar powered rocket shuttles, ramjets, scramjets, lighter than air gases, so airships like dirigibles and zeppelins, hot air balloons, flying cars, gliders, non-motor and motor, hang gliders, rotary wing, auto gyro pusher and tractor rotary wings, gyrodyne, which is a heliplane, so like helicopters, kites, paragliders, rocket spaceships, boats, human-powered rowing paddle, setting pole, wind-powered sailing motor, powered inboard, internal combustion, steam, nuclear, inboard, outboard, gasoline, diesel, outboard, electric paddle wheel, water jets and fans, cars, sports sedans, hatchback, station wagons, minivans, vans, trucks, buses, construction vehicles, locomotives, trains, coal, electric, diesel, steam, and overhead lines. So I really thought of most of the vehicles that you might be able to transport yourself on in this. Melee weapons. We'll give a quick look to melee weapons because I just want y'all to start kind of understanding that we did put like a lot of back work into making sure that you have a variety of things that you can use and how they work. As you see, it's got the name of the weapon. It's got the resource points that are associated with using it or purchasing it. The damage and the point skill. So how much extra damage it does and what point skill you need to use it, right? And of course that goes up and down with a similar chart to the other one. But we got a whole bunch of melee weapons, like a whole bunch, and they come in light, one-handed, medium, whatever. There's not really too many heavy, except for the katara. I have as a heavy one-handed weapon or heavy fist melee weapon. We got some swords here, quite a bit. You should not have a problem finding a sword that you are looking for. As you see, I even got hand in half and two-handed great swords and curved.
Oh, I see those white-hander on there.
Huh?
I saw those white-hander.
Oh yeah, I got it on there. We got axe-like swords, thrown weapons. We have a bunch of those, including throwing axe and sticks and spears and javelins, blunt weapons, a bunch of those as well. Like I put a lot of work into building these libraries of weapons and things for you guys to use. Whips and chains, and that's kind of it on that. And then resources. Oh, I guess I put the melee weapons. Oh, here. So here we go. This is the one I was really looking for. Okay, I knew I had one chart that did all this. So here is that same animal breakdown, transportation breakdown. This is how much it costs to buy it. I forgot what RP means, but that's whatever our money is in Virtual Verse. How many spaces it covers, how many rounds it covers in that space, how fast it actually goes, in kilometers, right? So yeah, basically, like single engine plane is a level 4 item. It's gonna move you. It's gonna cost you 50, whatever this is. It moves you 25 spaces in one round at 180 kilometers per hour. Right, so that's pretty dope.
Yep.
Yeah, and then range weapons also have a chart because they have a different breakdown. So they got the level, the skill point cost, how much they actually cost in monies, the range spaces that they go, and the rate of fire, in the damage, right? So like 1 damage for rate of fire. So sling, blowgun, bows, long bows, blah blah blah. As we get up to firearms, um, is where we'll probably start seeing. Well, I guess long guns, clip, pump action, automatic weapons. Where honestly, we should see. No, it still stays 1 rate of fire because that's what when you pull the trigger, that's the rate of fire. I get it. I get why I did this. But the range spaces increase, the cost increase, all that stuff. But yeah, so we do have a lot of this already compiled, accessible to drop in and just number up and chart. So we don't have to work too hard on making the items that exist in the world. We still need to make like food and clothes and armor. Wake up.
I'm awake.
We're almost done with the show.
We're closing armor, I know.
Yeah. So that stuff we still got to make. Me and you will need to look at the mind chapter this week since we're done with the body chapter. Because the mind chapter has quite a bit done, but not
all of it. I remember we looked at that before. There was
right.
a lot of empty space.
So it's not a lot of empty space. It's actually a lot more here than I thought.
It's still enough that that we should look at it and get some stuff done.
Yeah, and it's not okay. So really, I think what we're like, I don't know. There's actually a lot of it here that is done. We also the soul chapter is also very lacking body or force rather. Like I don't it's not even there, I guess.
I have a pain, and I don't know what to do. It feels like when you eat really cold food, and then it like hurts your teeth, and it won't go away.
All right, give me just a minute. I'll be right there. Okay, yeah. So put it on the next sandwich and make one for her. All
right, yeah. But no, I found I found the soul stuff. And that's empathy, flow, force, insight, and sync is what that is. Let's look at that. Because this looks like it just needs to be compiled into one document.
Yes.
I almost can't read any of that.
Oh, here. Yeah, actually there's more of this than I thought. So we're gonna have to really kind of go through all this, get it in line, make sure everything
Just make sure that everything is there, yeah.
Yeah, make sure everything's in line. But we're gonna have to spend some time this week probably going over these documents and figuring out what they are and what is going on here.
Woot! We have homework, guys. We have homework.
We do.
Look at that.
It's the end of the show, my man.
It is. That is okay.
We did the show thing today, guys. It was fun hanging out with y'all as per the norm. What would a Monday be if we weren't doing the Wayfarer's Guide at 8 and 10 in the morning, respectively?
What would it be?
What would it be? But it is 10:10 my time, and it is time for me to get on out of Dodge.
Yeah, I have some stuff to do. I got to get the kids fed and then go to the mall and drop off my daughter. And then I got to go to work tonight because bowling for my wife, and I got to cover the store because other people can't.
So you all have an amazing day. Check out the panels. Get the links. Go to the stores. Like the social medias. Do the internet stuff. You know what to do. Sit down in your thinking chair and think. Wow. You parents out there know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. It has been a pleasure. I love each and every one of your faces. Thank you for being here today with us. We enjoy every week we get to spend with you, sharing life tools and virtual versus mechanics. We love you guys, and we will see you next Monday morning.
Third. We'll see you next Monday morning at 8 in the morning. All right.